What's up? We are here today. I am, of course, the Boston Mess. I'm here with a good friend of mine. I've known Mike for, well over 15 years now, I'd say. And Mike is an IFBB Pro bodybuilder, Mike Ergas. He was phenomenal light heavy, then heavy, and you turned pro as a heavy, right?
Yeah.
In 05?
06 to the USAs.
Okay. And just a wonderful guy, wonderful guest. He's in here in Boston this weekend to train with me and spend some time, just have fun. And I figured, why not get a great interview with my good friend here. You've also, you've been involved in more than just bodybuilding. Of late, I saw you down in D.C.
Yeah.
Dressed all prim and proper, suit and tie and everything.
I had someone put that shit together for me.
Okay, all right. So let's start from the beginning, and then we'll get to DC.
Okay.
Bodybuilding-wise, how long have you been competing?
My first show was I want to say it's almost 20 years ago. God help me. 1998 was my first show. I did the Sunshine Classic in West Palm Beach, Florida. I got third place out of 3 people.
Yeah, and you were.
But I was just happy I got up there and I saw the pictures and I at least looked like I belonged on stage, so I was happy. I gotta get some, but it was enough to get my feet wet for me to fall in love with the sport.
Okay. You were middleweight then?
No, I was light heavy. I probably should have been a middleweight. Okay. But I was a light heavy.
All right. And then what was your introduction to the national stage?
I did the nationals the first year. I moved out to California after that, and I did the Orange County and the Cal, and I got third place 5 times in a row. And then finally I did the LA and I won the light heavies and I qualified for the USAs. I went to do the USAs, I showed up, I walked out on stage and did a little thing, walked off, didn't make the top 15, and then that was it. And then at that time, I was working a corporate job, 60 hours a week, suit and tie. I was miserable, and I ended up just figuring I wanted to do something that I love. So I started training clients, and I quit my corporate job, and it gave me more time to train and get a little bit more serious and see what I could do with bodybuilding, really actually giving it everything I got. And then next year was 2002, and I did the USAs. Well, I did the Junior Nationals, and that was the first time I actually it just came out of, I guess I could say it came out of nowhere because no one knew who the hell I was. And I did the Junior Nationals, I won the light heavies, I won the overall, and then I went to the USAs and I got second.
That's huge.
Heavy. So I went from not making the top 15 to doing really well the next year. And I was okay, I guess I can do this. And I still, even though after I got second, I still was I don't know if I can do this. And then I saw the pictures and I was okay, I look like I belong, I'm okay.
So who were you second to that year?
Chris Dim.
That's right, Chris Dim. And then
after that, I was I don't know, things just kind of took off in a whole different direction. Photo shoots and and I figured, after that happened, I was let me just give it a shot. And I'd already fallen in love with the sport, and I loved living in LA and training in Venice. When I moved out to California, I just moved. It had nothing to do with bodybuilding or anything else. And but when I was there, it just kind of caught, and I just started loving it and meeting a lot of people and gaining knowledge, and it just took on a mind of its own, especially after doing well at the USAs and the Junior Nationals.
Okay.
And the other thing too was competing and doing all those things, I ended up just rolling across and meeting so many people. Meeting your brother and meeting everyone in Venice and then meeting you, and just you meet so many really good-hearted people. And the thing that sucks is bodybuilders and fitness people get this bad rap, but they're actually, most of the time, there's always gonna be an asshole somewhere. But for the most part, most people I've ever met in this sport are good-hearted people. Right. They're good people. And really nice. You could stop somebody in the gym and ask them, I don't care who the hell they are for the most part, and they'll stop and answer your questions and talk to you. They're just nice people, and they get this bad rap, but for the most part, a lot of people are just really good people.
I agree with you 100%. People ask me all the time, who's the biggest jerk off you met in the industry? I'm I don't know, I like everybody pretty much.
There's always somebody, but but that's just more or less, to me, that's the exception.
Right.
It's not the rule.
Right. So let's fast forward now. You turned pro in 06. You end up doing a couple of shows. When was your first pro show?
The first pro show I did was the Europa in Texas, like a year later.
Okay.
I showed up, I completely over dieted, I freaked out, and I did terrible. Did the open class, I got like 14th. But, you know, it was my first show, and, you know, at that time, I was doing my own diet. Yeah. You know, when I turned pro, I was doing my own diet, I was doing all that stuff. But somewhere along the lines, I think I lost a little bit of objectivity. Like before, when I was an amateur, I could look at myself and be like, okay, this is what I need to do. And then as I turned pro, I think I just started becoming a lot harder on myself.
Yeah.
And I stopped being objective about the way that I looked. And I noticed that especially after I did that first show, because I dieted so hard for it. And because I wanted to look good, but what I ended up doing was just completely over dieting for the show.
Okay.
And that at that point, I kind of started realizing that maybe I needed like a second eye.
Okay. Well, you certainly hit your groove last year because you went in and did the Tampa Pro,
yeah,
which Ahmad Ashkenani won. That was 2016, right?
Yeah.
And you were third behind Ahmad and Bola Ojak.
Yeah.
Which was huge because, I mean, the final call out in prejudging was you and Ahmad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely have done something right since then.
No, I mean, like, I came out of retirement, like, I took some time off. Like, I did a couple shows after I turned pro, and then something happened. Like, my mom got really sick. She had, like, meningitis. Well, she got meningitis, and she was, like, in a coma for, like, 2 weeks, and it was just, like, it was like a reality check, like, as far as my life is concerned and bodybuilding is concerned. I always loved the sport, but at that time, I was like, you know, maybe I need to take a step back, spend more time with my family and my friends, and focus on some other stuff. And I took a break and took some time off. And then a couple of years ago, I said, you know what, I'm not done. Like, I don't want to like go out like that. I want to compete a little bit more while I still can.
Okay.
And so I just kind of came back, and to be able to do as well as I did, I mean, I never stopped lifting and stuff, and I never like stopped going to the gym and sat on my ass. Don't get me wrong, I got fat, but you know, but it wasn't too bad. And then, but I just wanted to come back and like give it another shot and like really put a little bit more effort into it while I still could.
All right, so we have another show coming up that we're aiming for, which is 7 weeks away.
Yeah.
That's the Indie Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fun because we're going to have you, myself, Jake,
yeah,
my wife. We'll all be making a fun little trip out of that. I think you're in a good spot now. You're just over 230, and you're getting in better condition every day.
Baby steps.
Yeah, that's all. You know, the smartest bodybuilders, that's the way to look at it, one day at a time, because you try to look too far ahead and you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah, no, I just take it one day at a time. I get through that day and then I'm done with that day.
Good, exactly.
If I look 3 weeks down the road and I'm like, oh, I'm too fat.
Right. I love it. So you train people in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Do you do online stuff? Do you do?
I do online stuff. I enjoy doing in-person stuff more, just because I want to be able to see that person, be able to interact with that person, and watch them change and train them in gym, make sure that I have a little bit more control over what they do. I mean, I do online stuff, but I would say I probably enjoy the personal interaction with my clients more.
Of course, I agree with you too. Okay, so now that we covered that, we're going to move forward to DC. What were you doing in DC, and why were you so fancy schmancy there? How did that go down?
About not quite 10 years ago, but about 10 years ago, I met someone through one of my exes.
Yeah.
Well, actually my first ex. And I met this guy, and he worked at the UN in New York. And then he contacted me last year and saw some of the stuff I had done and knew about me. And I mean, we had kept in contact here and there or whatever, but he works in DC now. And he saw some of the videos I did, and he knew that I've gone out and done stuff like in the LA area, like just feeding the homeless, but putting together meals, walking around, handing them out and stuff. And he asked me if I wanted to start doing any human rights work for LGBTI people. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people know I've never really hidden it. Maybe in the beginning I was a little shy about it and stuff, but
What's an LGBTI?
I mean, it's like lesbian, gay, bi gender. I mean, everyone pretty much knows I'm like.
Stop.
Hey, I know it's crazy.
Stop it.
But I mean, like being. I mean, I know there's been other like gay pros out there and stuff, but as far as I know, I think I'm like the only out gay pro as an amateur that has turned pro. I'm sure there's somebody out there, but as far as I know, I'm the only one. I know there was Bob Parrish, but he came out after he was already pro. And a lot of people said that I never actually would turn pro because of being gay. And I've heard it left and right and all over the place. And especially after 2005, a lot of people were like, it's never going to happen. And, but anyway, make a long story short, which I could sit here and talk about forever, is one of the reasons I kind of came out of retirement too was I wanted to start making it, like in the beginning I wasn't ever like this flag waving rainbow flag guy or whatever, you know, I never hit it, but I wasn't doing anything. And now I'm like, as I've gotten older, you know, as I've hit 26, I wanted to do more, you know, and make a difference and see what I can do. Like I know the struggles that I went through as a kid, you know, when I was growing up, I literally, you know, thought about suicide probably every day, you know, and, you know, if this was an opportunity for me to go to DC and do some human rights work and make a difference and see if, you know, some kid or even adult, because I mean, it was up until I was much older that, like, it's still running through my mind until I came out of the closet. And I just wanted to see what I could do about making a difference. And by going to DC, I was able to meet people through the OAS, which is the Organization of American States. I met some people from the State Department, from the Swedish Embassy, had meetings with them. Spoke with some people from Finland, other people from the State Department, some other human rights people. And I'm going to
So you're saying that Sweden and Finland are all gay?
No. But I met some people from the Swedish Embassy and the Finland Embassy. And Sweden does a lot of human rights work. They put a lot of money out there. They've always been a little bit ahead of the curve as far as human rights work has been for a long, long time. So that's one of the reasons we actually ended up meeting some of these people. And it was, I mean, you almost say it was kind of like this first trip out was like almost like a job interview because, you know, I wanted to be that professional athlete that does something for people while I'm still competing, as opposed to the guy that retires and then decides to do something. You know, if some kid out there in the middle of the Midwest or the East or wherever it just happens to be, or even an adult, like, sees me, not that they have to love bodybuilding, but maybe they can say, okay, well, this guy's doing okay and he's happy and he has a good life. And, you know, maybe things were tough on him when he was a kid, but as he's gotten older, he's found that there's people out there that love him for exactly who he is. I mean, there's always going to be people out there that hate me for no reason, that don't like me, but don't even know me and just judge me before they meet me. Yeah. But there's also a group of people that I've met that love me for who I am, gay, straight, whatever, you know, and have gotten to know me as a person, like you, and Michaela, and Jake, and Danielle, and all my other friends, like, and I want other people to be able to know that there are people out there for them too, you know, and if I can stand out there and, you know, be that representative for them and maybe help them, then that's what I want to do. And that's why I've started to take that road through DC. I'm going to probably go back in the spring and speak at a human rights panel and meetings and slowly work my way and see whatever the hell I can do, whatever the hell that happens to be.
Mike, I love it. This is why I wanted you on. I wanted to introduce people to you that don't already know you. For someone like Mike, I love this guy. He's a tremendous asset to society, you know. Now there's going to be plenty of comments, and bring them. I want to hear it all. I want to hear the negative ones and the positive ones. But, you know, Mike is someone who's struggled throughout his life to come to terms with who he is and come out to his family and to his friends and to dealing with that much pressure and pain and anxiety. And now to be able to fast forward as an adult and help other people, even if he helps, like he said, one person, it's worth it, him doing what he's doing. And I know that he's going to be able to help a tremendous amount of people, not just one, because you don't choose who you are. And you know, I was going to ask, can I catch that from you?
What?
Gay. Can I get gay from...
I've been told that, like, you know, if I can recruit people, I get, like, a toaster or something.
Oh, okay.
You know, but...
It's not working yet, but we're gonna see what happens. But, you know, I think it is huge what you're doing. I think that you're going to be able to help a lot of people because you're so outgoing and intelligent and well-spoken, and you do have a voice. You know, people listen to you, and I don't really, but most people do.
Every once in a while, somebody does.
Yeah, and you know, this is why I wanted to interview you, because as people who know me, I have a very eclectic group of friends, of interests, and I find all this so fascinating because, you know, as a child, I had my own struggles, not with my sexuality, but life in general. And if I had known someone who could speak to me and tell me it's going to be all right, just, you know, follow your dreams, pursue everything that you want. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, tall, short, fat, skinny, green, or blue, you know. You can do whatever it is you want to do, and you can do it peacefully and happy, you know. Do it in a positive way. So, you know, I really commend you for what you're doing and have the utmost respect for you. Is there any other plans in the future? Anything you want to let people know about? Any way to reach you? Or
I mean, I'm on Facebook. I mean, on Instagram. I mean, you can find me one of those ways. You can send me messages, a direct message on Instagram or on Facebook. I try to get back to everybody as much as I possibly can. Sometimes it's hard, but I will always try my best. And if, you know, I mean, I get messages and I get emails, I get direct mails from kids, adults, everything. It's just kind of weird. Like, I never have thought about myself as that person, but like, you know, I guess I just see myself as me, you know, but other people see me as something different. And I've talked to a lot of people about all the issues that they're going through. And if there's anything I can do, you know, to help you, I will, you know. I want to try and do as much as I possibly can while I'm here on this earth and make this place a little bit better. I mean, I know I kind of like live by that saying, you know, make the world the kind of place that you want it to be. You know, it's like, if you want to be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's kind of like what I live by.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So this is Mike Ergas. I am the Boston Mass. I think people are going to love this guy, going to love hearing, you know, this interview because it affects so many people. Whether it's you or a loved one or a family member or a friend, you can relate to him, and Mike can certainly attest to that. What's your Instagram?
Mike Ergas, IFBB Pro.
Mike Ergas, IFBB Pro. All right, look for this guy coming to a stage near you soon, too. He's not just a big gay guy. He's a phenomenal bodybuilder and a phenomenal person. So I hope you like this video. I hope it reaches people and you take it the right way. And don't be too immature in the comments. But thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, brother.
Oh, thank you.
And we're going to go kick some ass in the gym. Peace. This is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. All right? Peace.